Hello students, your instructor here again, John Mandela with another screencast. You might hear my son playing with a rattle in the background, or maraca, whatever it is. And anyway, a student asked me, how can I take the word wax and make it look waxy? Well, here's one way to do it. It's probably really cheesy, but it might work. So I have the word here, and I see I have a fill and a stroke on it, and the stroke is really thick, and it's oddly colored on purpose. I know this looks weird. I'm going to go to Type menu and Create Outlines is the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Object and ungroup that, because for whatever reason when you create outlines it becomes grouped automatically. Then with all this, I am going to go to my stroke panel here, and when you have text it aligns the center. I want to align to the outside like this, and then I'm going to round the join and round the cap on it. So it's rounder and smoother like this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Object, Path, and outline the stroke. When I do that, you can see that it's not a stroke anymore, but actually it's like a solid shape. So I'll do all this, I'm going to select it and ungroup it, and keep ungrouping it till it doesn't allow it anymore, which is like that. Now what I should be able to do is click on this, and move it around wherever I want. Alright, so that's what I want. I want the stroke to be entirely separate from the fill. So with that, I'm going to click on this one, hold shift, and click on this one and this one. Okay. With all those selected, now I'm going to go to my Pathfinder panel, which if you don't have this, just go to Window, Pathfinder, and click on this first one, which is going to be to add them all together. So now they're all one shape. Alright, I'm going to do the same exact thing actually with the red or the orange shape. So click, hold the shift, select these, and add them to a shape as well. Now it's also very important, I want to make sure that this is on top of the orange one, so right click, arrange, bring to front. Now what I want to do is I want to grab my blob brush tool, and I want to, it may be already, but I want to eyedrop it on this green just to make sure that it's like that. Back to the blob brush tool, and I can use the bracket keys on my keyboard, which are just to the right of the P key, and I can enlarge or decrease the brush. And I'm just going to kind of paint away. And the idea is I want to make this look waxy. Okay, because wax, right, like hot wax, is not like perfect and stuff like that. So I don't want to just go to the outside, I want to go to the inside too, especially if it's like a sharp corner like that that might not be as believable in wax. So just go like this. Again, I can decrease this if that's too big of a blobby area. And what's cool is that as I'm painting this, I don't have to think about it. Illustrator is going to make all of this vector for me. Okay, so I'm not going to have you watch all of this. I'll just step away for a second and finish it and come back. But you get the idea. And if to double check how effective this is, if I click on my black arrow tool and select this, this is actually all part of one shape now, which is what we want. So again, I'm going to go paint away, and I'll come right back. Alright, so as you can see, I have finished all of the kind of waxiness on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this orange area, remember this is all one shape, I'm going to edit and copy this, go into Photoshop. What's nice about Photoshop is that when you copy something, and then you make a new document, it knows how big it is, and you can always change the resolution and the color mode and the background if you want to change them. Hit OK, and I'm just going to go to Edit, and I'm going to paste this in as a smart object and hit OK. And then I'll hit enter, or I can click the green check mark here to kind of lock that in. And I'll give this a name. I'll just call this Word. And I'm actually going to use my crop tool. It makes it a little bit bigger because my stroke when it comes in is going to be bigger. So I'm holding Alt or Option if I'm on a Mac to make that bigger from the center. So it's cropped larger, but it's centered. That's my son in the background singing a song. I love him. Back into Illustrator now. And I'm going to click on the green part, edit, copy, back into Photoshop. I'm going to edit and paste. Another nice thing about Photoshop, again, it's a smart object, is that when you paste things in, it goes to the center by default. Hit enter with a check mark to lock that in. You see, it might be off a little bit. That's okay. I can just nudge this over a little bit till it's just right. There we go. That's fine. I can always fix that later. So now what I want to do is with this green layer, I can call this outline. I am going to right click and go to the blending options, and I want to go to make sure preview is checked down and go to bevel and emboss. And I can make this up around something like 15. I don't know, I'll just play with it, soften it a little bit, things like that. And then that's good. And then I want this to be the same color as this one, so I can just do a color overlay. Click on this red swatch here, and then eyedrop it on this orangey color like that. And there we go. So it's almost like it's got this wax stamped look to it and stuff like that. Hit OK. So this is one way that you can take your shapes and have them appear as if they're made out of wax. It's not the best way, but it's a way.